This is the trade recap for February 17th, 2026. What is today? Tuesday. Hope everyone enjoyed a long weekend. Is now back at it and continuing on. So today was 14 of 30 for one and done. So almost halfway there. It's been going really well in that regard. And basically what that is, if you're new here, is just an exercise in discipline and consistency. That way you can see whether or not you're having any issues with emotions or whatnot, different things in trading. It's a good way to document stuff. So continuing on with that, like I said, we're almost halfway there. And other than that, yeah, pretty normal day in the market. Actually has some interesting price action. But if you are new to day trading or you want to learn or struggling how to do this, come see this gentleman right here. I am a student of this gentleman. This is Pat Mitchell. He is a professional day trader, though he originally was in blue-collar work. And he has been in the markets for a little over a decade now. And he has built up a incredible process and knowledge base when it comes to learning how to day trade. He runs a service called Trick Trades. He has also put together inside of Trick Trades a program called SizeUp, and that's what I do. And it is a structured program for learning how to day trade. You start with a small cash account, and you basically build that up with your education, experience, and screen time to eventually hit different milestones and become a full-time professional day trader. So if you're interested in something like that, great person, probably one of the highest quality coaches when it comes to day trading out there. If not the highest quality, I don't personally know of any other coaches that I can stand by or say that about. And I've been around a few of them in terms of their services, and nothing even comes close to what Pat offers. So if you're looking for a high quality coach, I cannot recommend him enough. And like I said before, you can find him over at tricktrades.com. He also has a YouTube channel on his own where he posts recaps usually daily. If you want to check that out, you can get a little preview of the kind of information he offers and the quality. And that is just a very, very small amount of the knowledge he possesses. But yeah, definitely check him out. It will be worth your time and effort to go through some of his content and judge for yourself. And with that being said, let's get into the charts. All right, getting into today's trading session. So here's a recording of that session, and it's about a minute and a half before the market opens. I have it paused right now just to quickly go over. These are our daily charts here on the left, our 1 minute intraday charts here on the right, and then I have my order execution, I have 1 minute in the middle, and then order execution here on the right. These levels in blue are plotted by Pat the night before and refined the morning of, and he develops the trade plans for us around that for both SPY and Qs. That's the only two tickers we trade. And then I decide to put up my, again, where I'm risking off hooks. I like to see a visual element of that. That way, again, if there's something going on where I have to scroll in or out, again, can keep track of where my risk levels are. It's just a personal preference. And then, yeah, as you can see, we're kind of just working in between this channel right in here and right in here on both SPY and Qs. So I'll hit play, and we can kind of watch how this sets up for us and how we open and trade. So generally in this time, I'm looking at, again, it's the price action, daily chart, make sure my chart's up to the way I want them in terms of how they look and things like that. Make sure I got the right strikes loaded for what is likely to trigger first. And again, that can obviously change. You kind of get, again, Chart squared away right there. Now we can see both the upper and lower levels on both charts. And the idea here is we want to take the first trade that triggers and pay ourselves on the first reaction, irregardless of which one that is, with the exceptions of, again, if the premium was really jacked up or there's something really funky going on with the risk levels and things like that, sometimes that will cause, to reevaluate, and it's something you should keep an eye on for sure. Because there are times when premium can be super expensive or your risk is just so wide that you can't really safely take that trade. All right, got about 5 seconds to the open. And here we go. So we open. SPY comes up, kind of starts testing that into that PM kind of high you see there. I have a minor level struck there where I was thinking, or where I wanted to start in. Kind of missed it on that one because I was also watching Qs. Comes up, push up a little bit more on SPY. Qs is still screwing around, trying to figure out what it wants to do. Decide, okay, we're coming in. Enter off that level. Waiting to see what kind of first reaction we get. And because that was the first trade that technically triggered, again, that is the focus. Watching that first reaction. And there you go. Again, it's that first reaction pushed down. And as you can see, Qs is also coming into its level. So here's the thing. When Qs comes into that level and SPY is holding up high like that, it can rip. So it's one thing you got to watch out for that. You got to watch both charts simultaneously. Now, if I was allowing myself to take more than one trade, would have entered there on Qs. And as you can see, Qs just goes right off that level. SPY is also kind of breaking over high of that pre-market range. As you can see, it's like if you tag that level on Qs, it would have been about 375 is where you would have entered at the low, and it's already up at 525 right now. So you're talking 150 in a matter of less than a minute, which is damn near 50%. Pops up, it's kind of deciding what to do. Shorts are probably about to get nervous, kind of seeing it come back down, or they're trying to add into their positions based on that pre-market level and a little bit of the daily resistance there. Let's let this go a little bit longer because it's actually kind of interesting. But with a big powerful pop-up, it's like, okay, let's see if it comes back to test some kind of support somewhere, mainly that pre-market kind of range. This is me just grabbing some screenshots of my trade so I can log them. So pardon that part. And then, yeah, it's one of those things where seeing what it does, really. Qs did come, or SPY did come down a little bit, but not all that much. So again, it's like even if you held on to it and didn't pay yourself on that first reaction, you really weren't getting much out of that trade. And now with Qs kind of popping up and both of them kind of holding up high a little bit, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, start being cautious because we can definitely get some more movement to the upside because Qs has tested support. It has not tested a strong point of resistance yet. So I guess you could say a little divergent in terms of, again, SPY being underneath its previous close on the daily. But as you can see, Q's is starting to make its way back up. And yeah, again, it's one of those things where that Q's trade was a really solid trade. Spy, again, you got that first reaction. If you were playing with, again, you had the ability to like kind of add and correct your average, you still could have made pretty decent on that one too. So again, premium moved real nice. Nothing really super weird about it. And now on like Q's right now, yeah, with that push right there, it's like, yeah, like that's a good trade. So I got in at 375. You'd be, again, you're sitting at 600 right now. So you're talking 225. I mean, yeah, that's all you need, really. And again, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes into the open. So really good trade there. So let's see here, drop this guy off. And bring my slip back on. So as you can see, here's the order entry, a little bit closer, zoom, more obvious or more zoomed in on Spy. That's, again, you would have corrected if it came into the actual level if you were at that stage of doing things. I'm not, so it's one of those things where that's all good. But all in all, it's like you can see, like, get zoomed in here. Just 1 second, so we can kind of look at that. You can see Q's tapped that level, came up into the other level, and then came right back down. So it's one of those things like if you played these levels like we do, again, day in, day out, it's one of those things where it's more than enough to make a solid living on, honestly. Once you put in the time and the effort to grow your account, get the experience, build the skill, work out any of the issues. It's like you look at these days like this and it's just like it's clean and it's tons of opportunity. It really shows you the potential of what the strategy can do, what the SizeUp program can do that Pat's developed. So it's one of those things we're super appreciative of all the work he's done over the decades, all the videos he's made, all the content he's made for the members. And yeah, small thing where it's nothing short of, again, spectacular. You can't really get much better than that. So with that being said, I can't really say I had any real issues in terms of execution management and profit taking. Everything went well. Sometimes things can be a little funky after a long weekend, but no, overall, it's like pretty standard day. And like I said, we're about halfway through this exercise on one and done and first to trigger. And so far, again, tomorrow will be the official halfway point. And thus far, haven't taken a single red trade. So it's interesting in that regard and really shows you a lot of people will say stay away from the open, it's too volatile or whatnot. But in reality, it's really not all that bad, especially, again, when you have the right approach, right strategy, right process, and your mind's right, your skills are sharpened. You can nail this day in, day out, and Pat proves that every single time. So with that being said, if you're looking for high-level coaching and mentoring, come see Pat Mitchell over at Trick Trades. Go ahead and check out his YouTube channel if you want to taste the kind of content he offers, and it's only better inside the walls of Trick Trades. Highly recommend you give it a shot if you want to, or you're more like interested in like the SizeUp program and things like that. I threw a link to the webinar down in the description. Feel free to check that out. And yeah, I will catch everyone tomorrow for the next one. Have a good one.